Good to be back with everyone here. It is Friday, September 3rd on the Taking Vegas Winners Talk podcast. And there are some great things to discuss college football-wise for the weekend. It is a holiday weekend. So we're going to make some money. And listen, I have yet to see anyone unhappy with making money. And Richie Tulo, you got a big total going tomorrow. I'm your host of the podcast, Chris Hodge. Good to be with everyone. We won't have any more podcasts until Tuesday thanks to the Labor Day weekend, but that's fine. We'll get you another free pick winner. Last night gave you the under in the UCF Boise State game. Okay, we were sweating the two-point conversion. I'm not going to lie. We were sweating the two-point conversion, but a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you win as long as you win. A 2-point winner pays the same as a 30-point winner. All that does is make the heart beat a little slower.
Yeah, I mean, listen, folks, all I can tell you is this. I've been sitting on a game all week long. I'm not a rah-rah guy. I'm just a guy that looks at this a lot differently than most of our listeners and the people that I've encountered over the years. I know one thing. This is a town here, when people come in and during football season, they want to just leave. Their mindset is they want to leave with a small fortune. The unfortunate thing, in retrospect, is they come out here with a large fortune. So when you come out with a large fortune and leave with a small fortune, it kind of defeats the purpose. So there's no reason for you to do that, folks. And all I want you to do is this. Listen, go to my website, syndicatedplayersclub.com, or Google my name. Find out about me. Everything you need to know about me is on there. It's kind of explicit to the point where you find out that I don't bet a lot of games. My philosophy has always been I'd rather walk away and take the night off than just venture into it because there's a game out there. I look at games like they got to stick out to me. And you notice, Chris, when we look at a Saturday or a Sunday board and you got anywhere from 100 to 200 different particulars that you could be betting, if we can't find one in there, or two in there, we're not worth our salt in this business. I mean, we're just not worth it. So, you got to be very selective. Less has always been more. And you got to, listen, all I want to do is have people understand one thing. What I do for people is not for everyone. I think we're in agreement with that, right, Chris?
100%.
But for anybody who does want to get to the next level, and I'm not going to lie to people and tell them that I don't cater to the larger player, which I do. But I also cater to people that want to become larger players. Guys that want to do this, girls that want to do this in a different view, in a different prism, and put themselves in a position to really take advantage of what I have. And what I got for you this Saturday is something. I mean, it's a game, it's a total, and we've been all over this game. And right now, the beauty of it is we don't have the weather variable coming into play right now, because unless there's going to be a big weather, a big rainstorm or windstorm, it's still, it's still late spring, early, late summer, early fall. So, folks, look me up, syndicatedplayersclub.com, or just Google my name, like I said, and I'm going to lay it over to Chris right now.
So the funny thing about Richie is when he says he's not a rah-rah guy, I mean, it's true in life, because remember we were playing golf a few weeks ago, right? So I'll never, this is hilarious. We're on a par 5, I think it was your third shot, and you hit a bomb, like right down the middle. And I was playing next to you, and we kind of saw the ball disappear. So then we get up to the green, and we don't see the ball on the green. And now we can't imagine the ball would ever went in the hole. Like, that's the last thing you think. So now we're looking behind the green in the woods. How long you say we look for that ball?
8 minutes.
People behind us were yelling, that was such a good shot. Where the hell did it go? And finally, I think it was Mike. He walks up to the hole.
Oh, shit, it's in the hole.
Oh, shit, and you just laughed. You're like, oh, it's in the hole. Like, the dude just made a 220-yard shot and just went and got his ball, walked away, and watched us chip all over the green and whatever. So that's the type of personality you're dealing with when you deal with a guy like Richie Tulo. Listen, he's going to get the job done for you. Got the job done last week with the under in the UTEP game, and he's got another total going tomorrow. Get on it right now at syndicatedplayersclub.com. Go visit right there. Over at Taking Vegas, I mean, what more can we do? We've won 10 straight free picks now at takingvegas.com. We have monster action available all weekend long. A big play on tonight's North Carolina Va-Tech game. That's absolutely free at the website, so go check that out, takingvegas.com. And then we have some false favorites going tomorrow. Get involved at 888-WIN 8020. That's 888-946-8020. Call that number right now. Everything is for free.
You know what, Chris? Explain to our listeners what that false favorite is, because a lot of people that are first-time listeners don't really know what that means.
Yeah, we get a lot of questions about that. So the false favorite, we're not releasing the favorite. We're releasing the underdog.
Who should be a favorite in reality.
Right. So the favorite is a false favorite. They have no business being favored in the game. Last week, our false favorite was Illinois, +7. Anyone who's been following Nebraska for any amount of time, ever since they got rid of, a coach from 20 years ago, knows that Nebraska should not have been favored on the road in any situation ever in life.
Yeah, but here's the beauty of it is that when we used these last year, when I said, it was basically your your brain scheme was to label these that particular name, the false favorite. I don't want a lot of our listeners to think that we were using 1 and 2 point favorites as false favorites. There was double-digit favorites in there that were the wrong favorites on ball games. So, I mean, that's going out on a limb. And then when you go out on a limb and you're talking a 10-point or a 12-point favorite who's no longer should be the favorite, tell people what we did. I mean, as far as not only betting the game straight up plus the points, but some people were taking anywhere from 25 to 30, 33% of their wager and betting it on the money line and getting a stupid return on that.
Well, our money line average on the false favorite is +140. Last week it was +210. But if you average them all out, last year we went 12-2 with football false favorites. Right. It was an average of a $140, okay. which is as good as it gets. Because you're betting, basically what we're doing is you're betting obviously plus the points. You're betting the money line. We've thrown some halftime bets in there if it's warranted. So, that 1-0 actually turns into 4-0 or 5-0.
Yeah, but then you got to look at it plus 140. Now you take 140 and you times that only by 2. That's plus 280. That's like going 3-0 as opposed to going 2-0.
Correct. I mean, and that's what we always try to teach the listeners. I did a show this morning with Sean Salisbury on KBME, and I was telling the listeners, because I got asked the question, that this is a business. So if you had $100,000 and you were running a regular business, whatever that business is, and you wouldn't spend that whole $100,000 on one thing of inventory, you would break it up, and then you would do what you do.
It's called diversity.
Correct. Diversity. I always go back to the movie Anchorman. What is diversity? I think that was an old wooden warship. That's just one of my favorite lines in that movie. Anyway, yes, diversity. And, sports is the same thing. If you had $100,000 to your name, you wouldn't go, only a lunatic goes to the window and puts $100,000 on whatever team he would bet on. You would diversify. So if you treat sports wagering as a business, it could be very viable. If you treat it like you're a lunatic, I wouldn't recommend doing it. And you say that all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many people that are, vested in the stock market that make money on, stock A don't make money on stock B or don't make money on stock C? Most people don't have one particular stock that they're invested in. They're diversified. It's, they're diversifying their portfolio. It's just like us. Listen, I'll never tell a guy. I speak to guys all the time, and they tell me, why would I get involved with you, Rich? I'm already dealing with this guy. Says, you got the last guy that's going to try and talk you out of dealing with somebody who's making you money. But in the same breath, if you're dealing with somebody and you got money vested and you're not making money, isn't it?
Why would you
do you stay in a bad marriage?
No.
You walk away, don't you?
100%.
Well, you got a bad marriage. Turn the page and, I'm the new girl or you're the new girl.
100%. And people don't understand that that's the way it's supposed to work. If it's going good, you stay with it. If it's not going good, get out of Dodge. Be done with it. But so many people, I don't know, it's like putting a square peg into a round hole. I've never been able to figure it out as to why people act the way they do.
It's the old bang for the buck theory. People just want to get I got this spent, I got that. They want to bang for the. Listen, you'll get banged. You're just going to get banged over the head if you're losing money. So
we asked the question yesterday. Okay, there was Ohio State, who is now 30-1 in the Big Ten after winning. They didn't cover though last night. It was either a push or a loss. They are 30-1 over their last 31 Big Ten games now. I asked the question because I did not know when we were doing the podcast, and I did not look it up, that who was the one loss. Okay, I would have said who would you have said? Who was the one loss?
Well, I did say yesterday, is it Minnesota? You said no.
It wasn't Minnesota.
The common thought would be Michigan, but they
What?
kind
They
of
killed Michigan.
they kind of suck since Harbaugh went there.
I thought it could have been Wisconsin if I'm guessing. Lewis from Miami sent us an email and said it was Purdue. Purdue was the last team that beat them, and not only did Purdue beat them, and now when I think back, I actually remember the game. It was at Purdue, and it was a night game, and Purdue just ran them out of the building.
Was that the kid Rondo?
I don't remember the
Was it
exact
Rondell
players on the
White?
team, maybe, but like
The little scat back they had. He went crazy in that
they
game.
ran them out of the building. So Lewis from Miami, thank you for the heads up. We appreciate it. I would have never guessed Purdue. I was on Wisconsin. Maybe Nebraska caught them somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, that was the one loss for Ohio State. You talk about a team that just dominates a conference. I mean, they're just dominating that conference. There's no one else.
It's kind of a weak conference when you think about it.
I've hated the Big Ten forever. I've never been a fan of the Big Ten. I know I make a lot of enemies when I say this, okay? The Big Ten, I never, even going back to the 90s, it was always like a slow, plodding conference. I formation, run, pass, punt, like that type of offense. And then, I mean, listen, Ohio State kind of opened it up. But, like, I mean,
More times than not, when they do play, when they venture into playing anybody in the SEC, it's like water buffaloes against gazelles.
right.
And they can't. The water buffalo's never going to catch the gazelle. It's just plain and simple.
Crazy. So tonight we got some action. We got Vodchek. They play host to North Carolina. North Carolina is -6. This is a free game on the website. Go to takingvegas.com to get that play absolutely free. Old Dominion and Wake Forest. Forget Wake Forest is -32. Old Dominion sucks. Didn't play last year. I'm not laying 32 with Wake Forest. Throw that game out the window. Duke and Charlotte is somewhat of an interesting game. Duke stinks. We get that. But Duke played Charlotte last year, and it was one of their few wins. Kicked the hell out of them. And they're laying 6.5 at Charlotte tonight. But, I mean, do you really want to lay 6.5 on the road with Duke? Is that something you want to do?
That's an interstate rival.
Yeah, it is an interstate rival, man. And usually that game is played at one of the Power 5 conferences. I mean, who the hell is Charlotte to host a Power 5? That's how bad Duke is.
And that could be a game like that. Who knows where Duke is this year? Who knows where Charlotte is this year? But that could be Charlotte's season. Hey, we beat Duke. We beat the Dukies. You know what I mean? We beat the Blue Devils.
It could.
Not that that's all that much.
Right. I mean, because we all know Duke's not good. I'm not doing the extra games. I'm just doing the main board. Michigan State visits Northwestern. Michigan State, I mean, they had so many bad things go on legally. You know, everyone knows that story. We don't need to rehash that. But Northwestern, to me, is just one of those teams that I don't like being either on or against, because you just never know what Northwestern team is going to show up. Unless you have crazy good information on the game, which exists every now and again, I don't like being on a Northwestern type of game.
Why? Because Fitzgerald's looking at the clock the minute they come out in the second half, and God forbid he's got the lead, and you know he's going to grind it out and just look to finish the game.
It's all he's ever done. You know, it's all he's ever done. But for free, okay, to what you just said, go with the under today. 45.5. Now, look, we've won 10 straight free picks. Now, you're always going to get the one clown that listens to the podcast.
Oh, you guys suck.
Right, you're going to lose a free game.
You suck, Chris.
Right. Terrible, Chris. Go get another job. How many times I've heard that?
How could you be a 10-1? What a disgrace.
Right. It's amazing. You know, it's crazy. What do you mean? I just won for 7 straight weeks. I had a losing week. You're going to run me out of town and tar and feather me? What the hell is wrong with you? Yeah, but that's what's going on for tonight. Big baseball card, but, you know, listen, football's here now. We're not really going to talk about baseball. But there is a good series starting tonight, Dodgers and Giants. I believe they're tied in the NL West. Giants are just red hot. Dodgers are just red hot. Giants kind of cooled off a little.
They just had to get healthy, the Dodgers. That's all.
Yeah, they did. You know, but they're still not. You know, you still got to deal with Kershaw. You got the Bauer situation where he beat up the girl. And then you have Betts. He's bent back. I mean, can you imagine a Dodgers team in the playoffs if they're all healthy? They throw out Buehler, Kershaw, in no particular order, Scherzer, Bauer, Price. That would be their top 5.
What's the deal with Bauer? Is he ever coming back?
I don't know, man. I wasn't in the room. I mean, it seemed like the girl liked rough sex. It is what it is. You know, I don't know what to do with that. I mean, and look, we obviously that's never condoned by anyone, but I mean, you know, the court said that they can't put the restraining order on her, so I guess it's an MLB thing right now. You know, it is what it is.
They don't want a black eye, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You got to always take those accusations with as like as serious as a heart attack. So we'll see. But if that 5 comes back, that's insane. So we got this, obviously we got big things going on tonight. Now, Richie, you spoke about it earlier in the podcast. We got a couple more minutes left here. Anyone who visits syndicatedplayersclub.com, you got that big total going tomorrow.
Love it. Love it, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's a jump start to the football season. It's an opportunity for everybody to play from ahead as opposed to playing from behind. And that's the key. I mean, the month of September is kind of where I've made my reputation over the years. The fact that I've never put people in a position, not that I haven't lost games in the month of September, but it's nearly impossible with the resources I have and the money that I put forward to not succeed at this time of year. It's such an edge for guys like us, simply because it's not what we know, it's who we know. And we know the right people come September. We know the right people just about every football season. But September's a time where adjustments have to come into play. They usually don't come around until week 3 and week 4. And the fact that a lot of teams in college football, and anybody who follows the game as as astutely as me and Chris knows one thing. These college teams, sometimes they get out and they kick the snot out of somebody, and then you don't see them for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Or when you see them,
their oats a little,
and then they play the afterthought teams, and then you don't know where their mindset is. And God forbid they're playing a team that's a cupcake team. You're not going to see anything from that team. They're not going to show anything. And once again, you're betting on last year's resume. So, folks, listen, look me up, syndicatedplayersclub.com. Reach out to me. My phone number's on there. Anything you need to know about me is all on print. If you listen to me, if you follow my program, I don't think I'll let you down. You might let yourself down, but I promise you one thing. Less is more in my world, and if you bet it the right way, I'll show you how to do it the right way.
All right, so because we have a big weekend coming up, we're closing up with this podcast. So like I said, I did a couple radio shows this morning nationally. I gave out some free plays for Saturday. I gave out Clemson for free. I gave out the under in the Houston-Texas Tech game for free on Saturday. Sunday and Monday, low board, nothing going on really. There's 1 or 2 college football games, and then we'll be back with the podcast on Tuesday. Follow us at Taking Vegas on Instagram. DM us the word free. You get a free pick each and every night. Richie Tulo's got that big total. Go to syndicatedplayersclub.com right now for our free pick on North Carolina and Va-Tech. Visit takingvegas.com. Lot to realize, lot to understand there, but just keep playing it back. You'll get it. And if you want to get involved with our false favorite tomorrow, which is a pretty good-sized underdog that is going to win the game outright, give us a call at 888-WIN-8020. That's 888-WIN-8020. 8020. And again, the free pick for tonight, going to go with the under in the Michigan State Northwestern game. Guys, have a great Friday. Enjoy the holiday weekend. Richie and I will be back on Tuesday with the Taking Vegas Winners Talk podcast.